Neat! Hey everyone, Jason here, and welcome to episode 9 of Jason's O-Gauge Trains. It's Christmas week 2021, so first I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I hope you all enjoy a fun and safe holiday. It's been a particularly busy Christmas season for me, winding down the work year, an accelerated master's course, Christmas shopping, traveling to see friends and family, and of course Shelby and I have been enjoying the holiday season together. Somehow in the middle of all of that, I managed to make some major progress on the layout. Progress that I was hoping to have done by Christmas, but even I was skeptical of the time frame I laid out for myself. But I'm pleased to report that I have met those goals. I have built the ramp that leads to the upper level, as well as the bench work that completes the upper level and reverse loop. And I have trains running. And we're going to check out all of the progress that's been made today on Jason's O-Gauge Trains. Before I give you an overview, there's a few people I want to thank for helping me reach this milestone. First, I need to thank my friend Mark Sarver, who came over and gave me a hand with building the ramp and final elevated section. Having his help allowed me to build this area so much quicker, so big thanks to Mark. Next, I want to thank Trains.com, who found and sold me a bunch of Atlas O straight track sections for a really great price. I also bought some rail terminal joiners for them, which allowed me to get the upper level wired so fast. So if you're in the market for Atlas track, any kind of track, freight cars, passenger cars, or engines, don't forget to check out Trains.com. And remember to use promo code JDstucks at checkout for $10 off of your next online order. That's promo code JDstucks for $10 off your next order at Trains.com. That's Trains with a Z. And finally, I want to thank a few others who sold me track as well. GFW Trains, John Crowley, Matthew Ken, and Joker's Trains all sold me various sections of track to help me complete the upper level. And there's so many others who reached out and offered to sell me track as well. I can't thank you all enough for offering your help. Okay, let's go ahead and check out all the progress that's been made. All right, we'll start with the grand reveal and overview like I usually do. So starting from the left-hand side, and just like I always do, I'll slowly pan to the right so you can take in all of the progress that's been made. Pretty cool. Let's dive into each individual addition. So on the left side, you're going to notice that the main loop of the upper level has been corked. It also has power added to it. I also laid down the track for the inside loop. That's wired up and running as well. Now I should mention really quick, this little inside loop up here, I am going to have the option to switch this between command control and conventional control. I haven't hooked up the toggle switch yet to switch it between the two. Right now it's hooked up to run on either MTH DCS or Lionel Legacy, but in the future this is going to be set up so that I could switch to conventional if I want to and run some of my old non-command controlled engines. If you look towards the back, there's actually a crossover that connects that little inside loop to the outside loop, and there's also a switch back there that leads to a siding. That's going to be some kind of industry or some sort. Now I have that back siding wired up so that power can be turned on and off, but I have not wired up either of those switches towards the back. That's on the to-do list. So moving to the right, you'll see the whole upper loop has been corked. I've adjusted the girder bridge back there a little bit so it's a little more level, still doing some work there. And if we move back here, you'll see the crossover switch. These have been wired, so I can manually throw those switches with the DCS remote to activate the crossover or to initiate the reverse loop. I should also mention that with some of the track I've acquired, I was able to rebuild my small little yard here, these 4 tracks. I haven't decided yet if this is going to be a maintenance away facility or maybe some kind of industry, like a steel warehouse or something like that. It has to be determined. But you'll also notice that the access hole here, there were a bunch of wires that were strung across there, so I had to relocate those wires so that I could pop up in that access hole and have easier access to the back of the layout, that access hole will all be hidden in a mountain in the future. But the real fun stuff of this layout update is the completion of the bench work over here. And this actually completes the upper loop. I can now run trains continuously on the upper level. It can go across the bridge. It's wired, it has power. It's operating flawlessly so far. And in addition to the upper level, the ramp leading up to the upper level has also been completed. So let me do a walk around. You'll see the ramp starts where that switch is, and it goes up a 2.5% grade is about what it is. And it wraps around this side of the layout, continues to climb. Then over here, it starts to head towards that switch, towards the back of the wall. That's where it actually connects to the upper level. You'll see it actually goes over the outside track on the middle level briefly, but there is enough clearance underneath the bench work for auto racks and double stacks to clear. Here's a better look at the elevated loop that has to cross over the double main line for a little bit. So that wraps around this way and leads back around an 072 curve leading back to the Atlas Pratt Truss bridges. So as far as building the ramp goes, I used this Woodland Scenics foam transition piece. This is meant to help you start a grade. This is their 3% grade, and it increases the elevation from 0 to 3/4 of an inch in, I think, a 16-inch span. I cut it back to where it hit a 1/2 inch so that it would mate with a 1/2 inch plywood. Then this is a long piece of Atlas Flex Track. I use the Flex Track for 2 reasons. One, because this outside track is also Flex Track, so I thought I could make another curve that would parallel it pretty nicely. And the Flex Track allows for a real nice smooth transition into the ramp. As it continues this way, I just cut little risers increasing by, what is it, like a 1/2 inch each riser, and I space them like every foot or so until it finally reaches the top level. It is going up 7.5 inches. I know many people will ask that. So these risers are cut to 7-inch lengths. This is 1/2 inch plywood. So from the base middle table to the top is 7.5 inches. So in case you didn't know, the upper loop also doubles as a reverse loop. So trains can actually come up the ramp, connect to this top level, and then using the crossover down there, it can actually reverse its direction. So let's watch a train climb the ramp and use that reverse loop so you can see what I'm talking about. And one thing I almost forgot to mention was I sunk the signal bases right here of these G-type signals. I had previously done this signal base, and I also did the signal base on the other side of the layout down there, but I also sunk the bases so that the signals sit a little bit lower. I think they look a lot better and a lot more prototypical. Now, not much done to the roundhouse area. This is going to be my area of focus next, now that I have trains running on the upper level. One thing I did do, though, was I actually added a switch that connects the two engine shed tracks, and I extended that towards the back wall. I did that because I wanted to be able to fit all of my Norfolk Southern OCS cars on the layout. I have 14 of them, and I kind of have this area set up so that I can pull out whatever excursion train I want and quickly grab some Norfolk Southern cars and take off. So I did that, and as you can see back here, I still have the base for the roundhouse just sitting here. I had some spare track. I just kind of set it there to show where I'll have some added whisker tracks to the 5-stall roundhouse. So this area is going to be under construction next. And what else is next on the layout? Well, there's still a couple power connections over here that I have to hook up, and I need to install the signals towards the back of the layout there for the main table, and I have to wire a few switches as well. In fact, I have to wire a lot of the switches for the main level and a few on the upper level. So just some wiring to do over here, and like I said, I'm going to be focusing on the roundhouse and turntable area next. And I also am starting to think about a backdrop for the layout. I need to decide if I'm just going to paint the whole wall blue or if I'll actually order a backdrop. I've always had my eye on Backdrop Warehouse. They seem to do a really nice job, but their website is an absolute nightmare to navigate. So looking for options for backdrops currently. Well, that's going to do it for layout progress. A few things before I wrap up this video. I have a lot of new videos in the pipeline that I should be able to get to and catch up on once the Christmas season is over. I do want to give a shout out to my friend Robert Campbell. Robert is a big fan of this channel, and last month he sent me 2 freight cars as a birthday present. One of them is a Lionel O-Gauge Grand Trunk Auto Rack, and the other one is an MKT Lionel Scale Auto Rack. First of all, these are extremely nice gifts, and I don't feel like I deserve them in any way. Secondly, Robert sent these to me so that I can use them in an upcoming video I'm filming for Classic Toy Trains magazine, where I'm going to compare modern auto rack offerings from various manufacturers throughout the years. So that should be a really cool video, and not only will I get to enjoy these cars, but subscribers to Classic Toy Trains magazine will get to enjoy them as well. So, Robert Campbell, thanks so much, bud. You're a star. And last but not least, this is my 9th layout update, and funny enough, I recently hit 9,000 subscribers. So big thanks to everyone who subscribes to this channel. I do intend on doing another live stream and giveaway to celebrate. I'll announce the date of that live stream very soon. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed seeing the progress that's been made. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and feel free to ask questions. I always do my best to answer each of them. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We're now on our way to 10,000 subscribers. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a very Merry Christmas. I'll see you all next time. That's promo code JDstucks for $10 off. Trump hands, great. It's a great layout. It's a great store. Believe me, it's amazing.